Jimmy, it feels like 2011 in here again. Ooh, what a raw, folks. Welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. A little cold open for you, huh? A little something new to start the show. Welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. Happy to be here. My name is John.
My name is Jimmy.
Jimmy, how are you? What's going on? Happy Tuesday.
Man, John, on my way here, I think the man upstairs did not want me talking wrestling today with you. I was trying to help this blind guy get on the bus. A car almost takes us both out. I'm trying to let these old ladies walk down the sidewalk. I get off the sidewalk. I then tumble on my forehead. I did a whole back flip or front flip, whatever. Yeah, something in the universe wants me not to talk about wrestling today. I'll tell you what, it will take a bullet between the eyes for me to not sit here with you and talk about professional wrestling. What a time to be alive. Let's go.
You got to try harder than that. I'll tell you that. Yeah, big stuff. We are a couple things. One, the SCW Predictions Championship will be on the line this Saturday because at the second half of the show, we have our AEW Full Gear predictions. So we're going to do that. And we are going to start out with our match and wrestler of the week this week. I'm feeling like switching things up this week. I want to start coming in with some cold opens. I want to start doing stuff differently. And obviously we're talking everything Raw and whatnot. But I literally only brought this out to be like, and it's on the line, and then I can get it off the table. Boom, title on the line. I'll bring this sucker back out later in the show for Full Gear. But folks, if you'll indulge me, some plugs before you get too deep into it. One, the obvious one, patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. If you go over there, you can hear a weekly bonus pod episode. It's a lot of just chitter chatter. We talk sports, we talk movies, and we also answer a bunch of questions. It's a good time over there. It's a great way to support the channel. And you get the whole back catalog. The second thing, I never plug this, and I don't know, figured might as well. We have, I talked about last week, we have a very strong audience on audio only, and I feel like I don't want to say ignore, but we don't often cater. And there's the video people, and then there's the Spotify people. I think someone on Patreon was like, do you ever read the Spotify comments? I'm gonna now.
We did so on the Patreon.
It's on the Patreon. Yeah. So if you just so happen to want to listen to this in your car without the video or whatever, we are on Spotify and we are on Apple Podcasts and wherever else you get podcasts. If you were just curious about that, but also, if you're here on YouTube, stay on YouTube. Whatever you want to do.
Oftentimes, many nights, your voice will gently put me to sleep. I watch your content as I go to bed almost every night.
Really? Really?
Yeah,
no
absolutely.
way. Aw, that's sweet. I thought you were going to say you listen to the podcast every single night. Or is it the podcast every single night?
I listen to podcasts every second of every day.
Yeah, you re-listen to old episodes.
We're the only wrestling podcast out there. So
yeah, I don't know of any other one. Well, what say we start with match and wrestler of the week? And then we'll kind of get into the meat and potatoes of things.
That sounds lovely.
There's a reason why I want to start with match and wrestler of the week, because obviously we have a jam-packed show, so some stuff we're not going to spend too much time on. But I do think Dynamite last night was potentially last week was a potential Dynamite of the year. I want to start with you. What is your match of the week?
My match of the week, you already kind of
not
forecasted
to lead the horse to water, right?
You certainly did. And this horse is a big old horse ready to go. And shout out to other big meaty men slapping meat. My match of the week, Will Hobbs, Hangman Page. Given that, like, you see that match in the card, and maybe you're thinking, like, oh, it might be a break from the violence. No, my friend.
Yeah, that shit was great.
Up the violence. I don't know how Will Hobbs is walking after that match. It was something...
That ending spot off, like, the top through the table where Hangman just hit him and he just took the back bump. Really crazy.
Right on his butt, dude. And he bounced up, like, because, oh, man, that was insane. Hangman Page, his strikes so impactful. He's one of the best. Can't wait to see him tomorrow. We're going to Dynamite.
Yes. Stache Club will be in attendance for Dynamite. Shout out BU. Shout out AEW.
Can't wait.
Thank you to both those. It's a great one. I think its placement on the card. It was like. A lot of people were criticizing it of like, is this necessary? Should this even be here? But like, it didn't overstay its welcome, which I liked. It wasn't like the longest match in the world. Just gave everyone, if you can even call it a breather, which I don't even know if I would call it a breather. What should have been cut was the FTR Ricky Steamboat promo. That shit, I hated it. I thought it was stupid.
You don't like the Dragon?
I love Ricky Steamboat.
Wait, you don't like the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon? The Dragon, Ricky Steamboat.
I'm confused. What's that mean?
He had a promo. Remember, he was revealing that Ricky Stark's opponent was Daniel Bryan, and he was kind of like leading up to it. He was like, on the contract, it says the Dragon. Many people know me as the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat, the Dragon. It's one of those kind of forgettable promos that stuck with me.
That's funny.
I thought it was good. I mean, seemingly though,
it went so long.
It went very long, and like Ricky Steamboat having fun. I feels like because given points at some points he just starts talking in the middle of their entrance and like really just free balling it. But I thought Dax had some good fire, and
I just think it shouldn't. I think it felt misplaced. Like, I don't think Dynamite needed to be a half hour longer for this promo to fit on. But I don't know. It felt just kind of like a tad pointless to me, regardless of, they were in North Carolina. There was some, wrestling history stuff they, had a pop for. I don't know. I didn't love it. But overall, not to take anything, like, that was like the one critique I had of that Dynamite. Because top to bottom, both Bloods and Guts matches, like you were saying, Hangman and Hobbs was electric. Well, my match of the week was also going to be from that Dynamite episode. What I think, and some people may disagree, I think a lot of people also agree, I'm taking the women's Blood and Guts match. Speaking of Ricky Steamboat, I could pay attention to it. Not too overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
Add 8 more women in there.
Yes.
I'm kidding. He didn't say it. I feel like whenever someone says something a little mundane that's a little criticizing, while I still disagree, people were I even like disagree with him like on Twitter, but like, wasn't that? It's like that's a slight disagreement. It's not like it's like a F you, Ricky Steamboat.
In the same
sort of
interview,
thing.
he also like really put over AEW, and of course, again, given that he was on the show, I'd hope he put him over. But like even so, there's some parts of what he was saying that I agreed with. But at one point in the match, and like I kind of said this to you off camera last week, and like I kind of fall into this trap, and I think maybe other fans do, where they're watching AEW and they just become an armchair booker and they want things to be their way. I shut my brain off. I'm like, this is ECW on the TNT network in the year 2025. That shit rocked. That was almost my match of the week too, but I was so like caught off guard with Heyman and Hobbs being so good that I'm like, you know what? I think I like that match better. But I mean, Sky Blue.
Well, I'll tell you what. That is my wrestler of the week. I'm going Sky Blue.
No kidding.
Just like being like the first one out there and just going like, oh, Mox is in a WarGames match. Or sorry, Blood and I do that all week. Mox is in a Blood and Guts match. I'll show him. Don the Crimson match. Maybe like 8 minutes into the program. I mean, so many. I'm not gonna shout out all. I'm not gonna sit here and list all 10, but like everyone showed up. Like Tony Storm was so good. Mina. I thought Marina Shafir was like an MVP of that match. She can do anything.
Putting her foot in the glass and then using the glass.
Nuts.
How about Stat? One of my favorite moments of that match.
Stat was great.
Very, very underrated moment. I mean, given that she also took I think what was a slam onto a bed of nails, or just that was insane.
Like very early too. Yeah,
a very small detail that I just loved. For like the first, I wouldn't want to say 2.5 minutes of the match, she was wrestling with the world title around her waist.
I like
which
that.
is a classic Jimmy from the Q wrestling with their action figures move, where I always kept the titles on their waist during the match. But
thought that was sick.
And then of course later in that match with other belts, all Mercedes belts, they get thrown in.
And
crazy,
like, giving a belt to everyone, doing the table spot. I think Julia and Sky Blue also escaping like the cage, like through the little like
I found out what a truss is. That's a truss.
That's a truss. Oh, okay.
Excalibur was
pillar.
saying.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just overall, obviously, yeah. Match wrestler of the week, women's Blood and Guts. Thought that rocked. Who's your wrestler?
Free on TV too.
Free on TV, isn't that crazy? Who is your wrestler of the week?
Wrestler of the week, man. It takes a lot out of a wrestler to get a great match out of Solo Sikoa. Dolph Ziggler, welcome back, my friend. No wonder why this guy was being paid millions and millions of dollars while riding kind of the bench in WWE for a long time, even though he shouldn't have been because he's so freaking talented. But that's the thing. He puts other guys over and makes them look like $1 million. I wanted Ziggler to win. I wanted Matt Cardona to win. That's another kind of unrelated thing. But Ziggler, my wrestler of the week, guys,
it's a great pick.
One of the best in the world. And not Nick Nemeth, not Nicky from the Spirit Squad. This is Dolph freaking Ziggler. The guy made a name that is the most probably grossest name you can think of.
Got
popular
it over
in the mainstream.
It worked.
Shout out Dolph.
He was selling his ass off the whole match, but like his final sell of Solo's whatever you call it, the thumb thing, just like looked like death. And I'm not the biggest fan. Like I liked when Umaga did it. I'm not the biggest fan of Solo doing it. I just don't think it's like as impactful. But like Dolph made it look like he got shot in the neck, just like boom, and then just hitting the mat. So good,
insane.
I saw a lot of comments that were just like he should be in WWE still, but I don't know.
Hey, if you wanna keep up with them, he's doing good work in TNA.
Yeah. Well, folks, that's our wrestler and match of the week. I'm curious to hear your wrestlers and match of the week. Please leave that in the comments. I'd love to hear from you.
On a week where you have on the card, and I watched this match and I enjoyed it, but Javon Evans Gunther, I would have thought that'd be a shoo-in for match of the week, match of the year.
And it was
perhaps.
great. It was fantastic. It wasn't match of the year contender by any stretch of the imagination.
I was,
but I was great.
shockingly a little underwhelmed. Maybe because I put too much expectations on it, and it's all just a TV match on Raw. But of course, Gunther's first match back, and this guy's don't theme song. But we'll wait until we'll dive into all that. But what a freaking wrestling's back, baby!
I guess before we jump back to the WWE side, might as well round out with just the men's blood and guts match, which was also crazy. What I think going into the men's one. It started off a little slow. Also, coming off like the women just killed. I think the women were more consistent top to bottom with like the violence and the pace of the match. And one thing I find like difficult with stuff like this when there's like, I don't know, multiple war games, Hell in a Cell, Blood and Guts, like multiple match types are Money in the Bank, right? And it's men and women. There's only so many, this is a crazy statement, which I don't even, this statement I'm about to say isn't true, but there's only so many things you can do in a wrestling ring. However, as we're seeing, these wrestlers are continuing to somehow innovate. And the men and women, being in that cage, in that structure with the two rings and the weapons, at some point it is like, okay, are they using tacks again? But I think they differentiated the violence and the usage of the weapons very well to make the two matches feel unique and whatever. And then also Darby going through the flaming table at the end, and then like he was caught on fire a little bit. He stopped, drop, and rolled. Moxley, stuff. And again, I think a lot of people thought that this was gonna be the moment. I think we still have some time left. Maybe tomorrow. I don't know. Moxley gave up again. So people are now like, also shout out Kyle O'Reilly. That guy's a monster too. People are like, is he gonna kick out of the Death Riders? Is Marina Shafir gonna take over? There's a lot of really cool stuff happening with that storyline in AEW in general. But I like the men's one too as well. It's like 1A, 1B, but the women's one sneaked out for me.
That's why I was a little surprised with how violent and how 100 miles per hour Hangman and Hobbs was, because we got to the men's main event WarGames match. Oh, no, I'm sorry, WarGames Blood and Guts.
I know, I've been doing that all week.
It's crazy. And I was a bit spent with violence. I think I reached my capacity, but again, those guys worked so freaking hard, and sacrificed their bodies, and what an extravaganza it was. You getting basically what ECW was on network TV in the year 2025. Tony Khan, God bless you. It was a sight to behold, and my kind of beef with the Blood and Guts matches and even the WarGames matches coming up was like, these matches I kind of feel like kind of thrown together. They kind of don't do it for me. Wipe the Jimmy from the Q wrong again, because the women's WarGames match, women's Blood and Guts match was phenomenal. The men's Blood and Guts match was pretty good. But what a way to spend a Wednesday night for me, man.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of the thing. As we're gonna get into it and talk about closer to the back half of the show, the WarGames setup. We sit on here, and we critique like the build, and especially I think for the WarGames stuff specifically, because at least like Blood and Guts, at least they had like the Death Riders were a team, and then the women's match was like an all-star crew, but ended up being match of the night. Where sure, and it's our job to critique and pick apart and find stuff we enjoy and find stuff we dislike or whatever, but once we sit down and start watching these star-studded traits, you know what I mean? It's gonna be like, oh, this was great. It happened at the beginning of Raw that we're about to talk about. I was a little bit critical of the match that we ended up getting on Raw. Halfway in it, I'm like, well, I'm having a ball. So it's like, as much as we can sit here and critique, like, why is so-and-so in the match? And this doesn't even whatever. And sure, there is, I'm not discrediting us. I think there is a lot of validity in those conversations. But also sometimes you do just end up watching the match and you're like, well, it was fun. You know what I mean? That was a great time. You know what I mean?
Right. So I got right on my critical horse right away, and then I kind of stopped myself because there was moments where I was like, man, Sky Blue already blading, and then I was
Goat.
like, it was there a few moments of like just like, oh, you get in your head of like the classic WarGames match from WCW and how those were laid out, and like using the cage as a weapon, make sure really putting the cage over instead of bringing weapons in. But then I was like, again, I am someone that really loved ECW. This was ECW personified, but like times 10 with extremely talented, beautiful, over the top women, and then the men brought it to you. So it was exactly amazing.
I agree. All right, let's go shift over to Raw, the most recent happenings. We're gonna just kind of start top to bottom here. A lot of John Cena talk we got. We are covering everything John Cena right now. We're starting out him coming out to Madison Square Garden, his final Monday Night Raw, chit chats with the audience a little, really puts over New York City makes or breaks careers. I've been thankful that you could make my career and that I didn't fail in X, Y, and Z. And then we get Dirty Dom coming out. And at this point, I want to pause here because I'm curious what your hopes and expectations were before even Dom comes out. Like, what did you expect or hope or think was going to happen? I knew John was going to have a match. I think that was kind of confirmed he was going to wrestle. But what were you kind of going and thinking / hoping?
Off the tails of how magical last week's Raw was, and just how much I love John Cena, and how much, to me, John Cena's last Raw in Madison Square Garden, what that could possibly mean for a surprise opponent. Internet markdom hit me tenfold, where I'm like, oh, Chris Jericho, that would be crazy, or even Dolph Ziggler or Matt Cardona would be suitable opponents in that spot.
I was seeing Joe Hendry.
Yep.
People were getting hyped up on Edge.
I saw you say Rob Van Dam.
I saw Rob Van Dam, which would have been sick.
So then my expectations were severely heightened, and shame on me, because I would never think in a million years I would see or hear Dirty Dom's music hit and be a little disappointed. Unfortunately,
like, 'cause I heard speculation going in that like, oh, Cena's gonna drop the title the next week, or Dom's gonna win it back the next week. And when his music hit, I was like, so my hope and expectations were maybe similar to yours, of like, I wanted it's not, I don't think it's our fault. Like, sure, we did hype up our own expectations and talk about nothing. There was like this talk of Jericho or Edge or RVD or whatever is all speculation, maybe our fault. But like, WWE did hype this up as John Cena, Madison Square Garden, his last Raw. So like, I think, and it was basically all but confirmed he was having a match. So there were reasons for us to be like, this is huge. Like, if his second to last Raw in Boston was that big, how are they going to top it? Who's he going to face? Right. And then so when Dom came out, as much as I do like think Dom is a good person to get that title back, and I do want the rematch, I was like, crap, like, I don't want it tonight. Which I guess all this is like, hearsay to talk about, because Dom comes out and we got the match, the actual rematch, which I loved. I mean, classic heel of just like, not happening in this city.
No.
You beat me in Boston for the title. We're going to my hometown in San Diego, which that crowd is going to be on fire for that match.
50-50? Do we hear John Cena sucks? Do we hear you can't wrestle? I'm very curious to see the San Diego faithful, how they treat, given though.
Yeah, I'm curious too. I don't know how much of a hometown boy.
Here's the thing too. We both love Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah.
We both, I can't speak for you. I didn't sit next to you. I was sitting next to Bobby Heenan. We both booed our faces off.
Sure.
Yeah, because that's the fun of it. We want to make sure.
When he first came out, I was like, hell yeah, that's my boy. Yeah. But then I played my part. And yeah, for sure.
Because the fun of it really is to try to make sure when he tries to put that mic to his face, deafening. I don't want to get a word out of him. But that's just how effective he is as heel, and that's what kind of why we love him. San Diego, though, hometown boy, I'm very curious the reaction for that match. And then when that match is made at San Diego, I'm kind of relieved in that moment watching Raw, because I'm like, oh, so what's happening tonight?
Exactly. We're getting something.
So then my brain went to, maybe Ray will come out and challenge John, get his lick back from 2011.
I was hoping for Ray. Yeah, Ray was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
But then we lead into, Judgment Day comes out, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, we got a 3-on-3 tag match. We got John Cena and Sheamus and Rey Mysterio versus the Judgment Day of JD McDonough, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. Now, admittedly, and maybe this goes to talking about, expectations or whatever, but I was a little disappointed when this was the match that was announced, right? I'm going to talk about how that changed and during the match, but right now in that moment of that's the match that's announced, it's happening right now, and that's the realization that is the final Raw Madison Square Garden John Cena match. I was, one, a little let down, and two, I was like disappointed in myself for being disappointed, because I was like,
Sure.
I was like, you be grateful.
Yeah.
But I was like, can I blame myself for what I wanted?
What, are you mad about Rey Mysterio tag teaming with John Mysterio?
Who am I to complain?
Right?
You know what I
It
mean?
seems like a John Moonsault
100%. But there was a big part of me that was like,
agreed.
and I still, here's the thing. I think I still, not that I'm still not disappointed, because we'll talk about the match. The match was fun. But I think I still do stand where this match maybe should have happened weeks or months ago. I still don't know. An emphasis on don't know, because I'm unsure about this. But I don't know if I now am coming away enjoying this being the decision for his final Raw at Madison Square Garden. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how you're feeling about it.
I think overall, given how, because the match was fun.
It was a ball.
And then looking at it, you got Sheamus, who many people think deserved to have a John Cena one-on-one match. Rey Mysterio, likewise. And then where you're able to shoe in John then working against Dom once again, building up to their match at Survivor Series. So
Finn gets in there. That's
Finn
fun.
gets in there.
Yep.
Huge nod for him. And then JD McDonough, who is a
Sure.
really good professional wrestler, young still, and can now say, hey, 50 years from now, when we all forget JD McDonough's name, he can be at a bar in Ireland and be like, I wrestled John Cena in his last match on Raw.
Hell yeah.
That's freaking awesome, I think. And it was a really good match. And then selfishly, too, I was kind of looking at him like, I'm glad John Cena saved a really good match for Boston and gave this kind of house show match to New York. But hey, it's not that deep.
Most famous arena in the world, huh? I think, and hey, maybe I'm just biased. Not that we need to compare, whatever. I think the Boston show cleared.
Hey, John saved the real title match for the real Garden, respectfully. No, that's just Boston New York rivalry, whatever. But overall, what a great opening to the match. I think you were saying on stream, you were shouting the year to 2012, 2011. I was saying 2009, but I think maybe a little bit
We're all
further.
around that same ballpark, right?
This whole episode of Raw was from 2012, to be honest with you. But I thought really just took it in. Obviously, one of the most fun spots was the hits to the chest. Is that called something? I feel it's called something.
I think it's like the 10 beats.
So the
or
Ballery,
something like
some kind of Irish
like
thing.
that.
But how fun is it? My favorite thing in the world is wrestlers doing other wrestlers' moves, apparently.
know.
And John doing it, Sheamus doing it.
Ray
and
having to get up on the
this adorable, honestly.
Ray with like the Cena gear too. We had like the C crossed out.
I actually didn't notice that
Nice
right
touch.
away. And then, shout out Sheamus. They're about to do the 5-knuckle shuffle. Sheamus is in the middle. It's like, wait a second.
I loved it,
I
dude.
shouldn't be in the middle, John. You should be in the middle. Quick fix.
Nice
What a
touch.
professional Sheamus is. And someone that, for sure deserved a nod from Big Match John in this, retirement tour. And I mean, I don't want to open up the larger conversation of like, we should have been getting these type of things throughout the past year. And maybe the heel turn was the wrong move. I'm not going to open that can of worms. I will briefly mention it right now and be annoying about it. But
I mean, it's coming off it. If like, that's kind of what I guess I mean too, is like, if these were the matches we were getting in between, like the, Cena versus Orton, Cena versus Punk, Cena versus AJ's, then yeah, I mean, people, I don't know. I you know what? I would bet then though, there's not gonna be a perfect world, right? I think if they did that, I'll bet you there's also a whole crowd just like, oh, fan service, this is boring. And then that in that universe, the heel turn never happened. So then there's people complaining like they should have turned him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't disagree in the sense, because this was, and again, this kind of goes into my attitude changed about halfway into the match, even quicker than that, of just like, you know what? And again, like you were saying, like it was a Ray and Sheamus and Cena all tagging together. It is Raw. Here's 2009, 2010, 2011. It's the opener. It's not the main event. I had a ball. It was so much fun. It was like a silly house show, which I think, on one side of the coin, which kind of, the what I'm kind of struggling with or going back and forth with, one side of the coin, a ball. We got to see like Rey Mysterio and Sheamus hit a "you can't see me" 5-knuckle shuffle, 15-knuckle shuffle.
Ray's first match in how long? Like he's been out. This is his first match.
That's a good point.
In a long time. So like it was really cool to see Rey Mysterio wrestling. Sure. Still got it. Poppy still got it.
He's like I tweeted it. He's like how is he faster? How is he faster? He's so he shouldn't be doing these moves. He's unreal.
And I made the point on stream, like the iconic, Rey Mysterio soundbite of like, I got surgery 5 times in my left knee was like from 2006. So with his left knee, I'm sure it's like 18 surgeries.
Yeah, 100%.
God, he deserves
stem cells, baby.
Talk about someone that deserves a freaking banner, Rey Mysterio. Yeah, dude. This was magic. What a great way to start off Raw. I had another point too. I'm blanking, but this was really special.
Yeah, and like I said, like my attitude quickly changed, and my slight disappointment of like we're not getting a surprise return or a surprise whatever for a John Cena match. Ended up being fun.
I did remember. Did you feel, because we kind of shared our feelings about it? The crowd kind of felt. I mean, I was on stream, so maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of felt like they were kind of shared the same, a bit lukewarm of like Dom coming out right away, and then like maybe the match itself. I think they are also, the crowd itself maybe had higher expectations. Do you feel that at all?
Maybe. I think more so. I'm not sure if I read what the crowd was feeling, but in my head, I was a little bit, and even to be honest with you, even like after me being satisfied watching the match. If I bought a ticket to Madison Square Garden, I
almost did. That's what I'd
still be a little disappointed that that's the Cena match, solely based on high expectations, right?
Just makes me happier I was there last week.
It's a Boston show rocks. Yeah. The Boston show rocks.
People are calling this like the best Raw of the year. I think you got to go watch last week. I'm not saying that Boston biased. I think like legit.
There was so much that happened last week. But yeah, so ultimately, like I definitely want to make it clear. Like I said, like my going into it a little bit like, and then I quickly turned around because we got a fun house show circa 2011. And sorry. One kind of similar to something you were saying earlier. Well, I'll do the good first. I love just seeing buddies be buddies, right? I think John Cena was giving Ray a piggyback ride, like up the ramp.
That was so funny.
And then they both, like the three of them, like all like what I really enjoyed seeing that. Because these guys, like, granted, like Cena and Ray were in the WWE, a decent amount before Sheamus, but like, for a big chunk of all three of these guys' career, they were sharing a locker room for a very long time together. So it was cool to see, like, this 2009 to 2012 era of just like people were calling it the unction, right? That's the unk match, right? Mm-hmm. The unk team. But it was just fun to see these guys all be pals and like have fun together and whatever. And ultimately, like I said, it's sometimes it's not that serious and it can just be fun. But disappointing thing is, I think the bigger reason for this match is because, and obviously at this point we only have 2 dates left, so this is kind of obvious, but where this is the Ray and Sheamus interaction. So I think because the reason part, or at least big part of the reason that I think we got this match is this means that this is the Ray interaction. We're obviously not getting at this point Ray versus Cena, and then to me it screams that Sheamus is not winning this tournament.
Oh God, no.
I know a lot. Which, to be honest with you, I see the vision where a lot of people want Sheamus to win this, so then Sheamus can beat Cena, and Sheamus can get the IC title, and he can be his first, get that title for the first time, become a Grand Slam champion. That's all great, but also it is 2025. Like that's not the direction they're going with the Cena retirement and who's getting the win or whatever in Cena's last match. I love Sheamus, but it'd be cool. I appreciate the fantasy booking of it all, but like to me, it's a little, I don't know. I don't know, what am I trying to say? It's crazy people are thinking that. That's the case.
I think I kind of know what I mean? Part of the reason why you're feeling that, and I'm someone that I
love Sheamus.
I'm someone that ripped their shirt off when it happened last week, but like winning the Grand Slam ain't all that. I'm gonna be honest with you, especially if you're completing it. Winning the mid-card belt. I mean, again, I'm not trying to say it doesn't mean nothing, because I think it does mean something. And I was overjoyed when John Cena did it last week, clearly. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, to kind of really give Sheamus that nod just for him to win the Grand Slam, I think is not really worth it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Where it's like, Yeah, if that's like he can get it in other ways. Like they're not gonna. It's also not like Sheamus isn't the next generation's guy. You know what I mean? So like there's no whole reason. Yeah, I don't know.
If anything, I think Sheamus has still plenty left in the tank. Give that.
Yeah.
Keep having him chase that. And eventually.
Yeah, I think he can
WrestleMania
get it.
moment.
I agree. Yeah, I think he can get it without that for sure. But yeah, so I think that's kind of the bigger reason that we got this tag match is like we want to get Sheamus and Ray in there. Let's put the tag match and like check off 2 boxes because we're not getting people to match and like whatever.
It is shocking though. I feel like I'm a betting man. I like odds, all that stuff. I would love to see the live odds of Dom Mysterio versus John Cena at Survivor Series because I can't believe we're probably going to be going into a match where Dom is going to be the favorite.
Yeah,
I think I don't see John beating him twice and defending the IC title. Like you mentioned last week, like your percentage of thinking Gunther was going to win the tournament kind of went down slightly just because of the IC title being in the picture. I think once we hit Survivor Series, the IC title going back home to the Mysterio household.
Yeah, if I were to pick right now, I would say Dom. But like, I guess I could see a world where Cena wins and then loses the IC title back to Gunther.
Sure.
But then that's we had the conversation last week of like, do I want Gunther to have the IC title again? He's already had the world title. He feels graduated. But it'd be cool.
Sorry,
no, I would it'd be cool. But I think the more likely thing, and I think that makes more sense, is like you accomplish what you need to do with the IC title and Cena. Give it back to Dom because he's been killing it. And then also like, I mean, it's going to be a dirty way, but like pretty cool accolade on Dom to be like, I beat Cena.
Yeah, in my hometown,
you know what I mean?
For sure. Armchair Booker, I mean, obviously, here we go. If you're going to have Dom not beat Cena at Survivor Series, I think Judgment Day turn, maybe Liv Morgan return.
Yeah, sure.
Of the lines of like a big reasoning needing to Dom not to beat, I'm not saying old man Cena to be like, because John Cena beat him last week, but, Dom, I think at this point in his career, Dom should be the favorite against Cena. And I think if he were to lose against Cena, it would require some kind of big moment in Dom's career to prevent him to regain his IC title, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think regardless of the result, we're seeing something. Yeah. Like I don't know Liv's timeline or nothing, but like we're seeing something.
Some speculation she was backstage last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. So I saw they're doing like this collab with this like designer. Like, you see like the shirt Bailey was wearing, the Survivor Series shirt.
Yeah, fucked, yeah.
And they're really cool.
Yeah.
And then the shirt Nia was wearing, the Ray shirt. Those are all from like the same like collection. And I think they were exclusive to lids in Times Square, but the collection is gonna release on the 21st, I think. Point being is Dom and Liv were like in the campaign for it and like whatever. So like I wouldn't be surprised if she was also there doing like, I don't know, some sort of work with that as well.
Any cool wearable outside wrestling merch? Sign me up.
It looks great. I
would rock that shirt out in the out in the club.
Out in the club. Yeah. But okay, let's go to unless we have anything else about that. We can kind of just go to.
I just want to puke seeing John Cena wear Yankees colors. That was ridiculous. But again, he did that for every city. So.
And I'll tell you what, I do hate that's the best looking hat he's had in years.
Oh no,
it looks good because it's not like obnoxious looking. But it is a little tough seeing him, with the Yankees logo. But as I don't have a leg to stand on because I also wear a Yankees hat sometimes. It's a good logo.
It is a good logo. Shout out Queen of the Ring. Oh, the camera loves it.
Yeah.
What the hell? What's going on?
Alex at the that was like the opening, right? Yeah. And she was with the gang and shit.
When she debuted, and here I am sitting on the couch like,
that clip was so funny.
Hey Shlomo, do you think like WWE might use my shirt ripping video in the John Cena opening package? Like, no chance. And then here's Alex on TV once again on another wrestling company. Like, shout out Alex.
Well, you were ripping New Yorkers. And then
I know. I'm instantly switched up as like,
you're like, hey,
I know her, but like,
That's
I don't
funny.
know her personally, but like, she's so cool, and like, I wish I could collab. Like, immediately switched up my tough guy act.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. Okay, let's go to the how the tournament's looking here. We have we're gonna kind of bounce back and forth from SmackDown into here, but we had a match that the internet was clowning for about a week straight. We had Jey Uso going over The Miz. I mean, this tournament as a whole is fine. I'm not loving it. There's
clean finishes.
Sure, that's great. But like in terms of there's no one in this match. I think at this point, the first round announcements are over. We're going to finish up the first round on SmackDown. I believe we're finishing up on SmackDown, unless we have more left on Raw. Not sure. But there's like, it's Gunther. Like, I don't see anyone else other than Gunther winning. And there's no, like, Bronson Reed got announced. Penta got announced. Those are all great. You know, Jey Uso, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa. There's no shot any of those people are, you know what I mean?
If you had to pick someone second that has the best chance after Gunther, I'm very curious. Who do you think that the WWE would pick?
That's been announced, that's already in the tournament.
Yep.
I
think there's two. I know there's one that you're gonna be like, ha ha ha.
Well, I mean, like Mello.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually my number 2. Third, LA Knight, but you know.
Yeah.
Probably not.
But like in the sense of, you know, putting over a new face, like I understand it.
I was surprised a little bit too. Mike the Miz cut a really good promo on SmackDown before this match that got me like, hey, Mike the Miz, give him a tournament win over Jey Uso, who kind of, you know, is going to WarGames. He doesn't really need a win.
I think Miz should have won.
I think so too.
I think Miz should have, especially because and you know, here's the thing. I think Miz should have won. I think, well, I don't know if Cardona needed to win, but for the sake of the argument, I'll say Miz, Cardona, and Ziggler. I think all should have won. Like I said, Cardona iffy, but like just for the sake of the conversation,
especially not as Zack Ryder, you know. Like I'm saying, he shouldn't have won. If he was Matt Cardona,
I see what you're saying.
Maybe, but you're coming back as Zack Ryder, who your claim to fame is getting cucked by John Cena and being thrown off the stage by Kane. So,
sure, you know, and I hear the chair chatter already, where it's like, and we have these conversations where the young guy should win. It should be this person. How come it's always the old guys? And then here I am rooting for Miz, Dolph Ziggler, and Zack Ryder.
Javon Evans, I'm sure, maybe.
Huh?
Were you rooting for Javon Evans?
I was rooting for Javon.
Me too.
But like, not that, I don't know. The tournament, I think the tournament should have been shaped up a little bit more of young new faces. And then it is just kind of a bunch of unlikely people, and, you know, people like Zack Ryder, Zack Ryder, Dolph Ziggler, and Miz, who have history with John Cena and were wrestling in John Cena's prime. So if you're going to go the nostalgia route, I think go full into it and have the nostalgia guys win if you're not going to stack it up with young guys, as opposed to like a Jey Uso win, where it's like, Jey Uso and John Cena, have they ever talked before?
John has given him a pep talk here and there.
Right. Like, I don't know. So that's kind of my reason. That's my reasoning for like wanting to the Miz win, even though I know it is like the veterans winning over the newer guys, even though Jey Uso's not a new guy. But I don't know. I think Miz should have went over Jey.
Yeah, I'm not the hugest Miz guy in the world, but I definitely agree that I think Miz should have beat Jey. But you know, I'm not gonna lose sleep over that too much. But I do kind of share some sentiments of like, I think this tournament could be, you know, perhaps I guess the word booked a bit better. But yeah, I mean.
Well, to go on to more matches, we also had LA Knight, your boy, did go over a surprise of a Zack Ryder.
Great moment.
Loved it. Yeah. Probably should have been his Matt Cardona, but like also I kind of don't give a shit.
Tough to come back. I mean, because Matt Cardona came back on NXT, jobbed to Josh Briggs, and I thought maybe that would be like, I mean, for sure, because being on SmackDown and getting the spot is a huge, pat in the back and a huge moment for him. But you kind of would, hope after all this, if you followed the indie god throughout the last few years, you would kind of, maybe hope that if you were to return to the WWE, it'd be in a more grandiose fashion than jobbing to LA Knight, who honestly looked like he'd rather be anywhere else. I thought for sure before the match started that LA Knight was absolutely going to lose because he looked like he was miserable.
Really? I didn't clock it.
I don't know if that's a, ongoing real life kind of backstage politic issue where LA Knight a few weeks ago had the fan sign and kind of put it on the TV. I'm not sure if he got heat for that. I don't know. There's a big discussion about LA Knight, but I'm not going to get into it. It's really not about him. Happy he got the win over Matt Cardona.
I want to see the tournament bracket because I want to see the only thing right now we have is Gunther won over Javon Evans, which is a fun enough match. But Gunther First of all, the Gunther will face the winner of Mello and Bronson Reed, which makes me real nervous for Carmelo Hayes. But
well, I mean, that would require though Mello to beat Bronson Reed, who is a legit powerhouse. You know.
But I also really do like the idea of Gunther Bronson Reed, just some big meaty boys.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Don't get me started. But I don't think you really want to use that potential matchup in a tournament, kind of a throwaway. I think you can get a legit feud out of that at some point. You know?
That's fair too. Gunther coming back with his Walter look, his old theme song, and he's wearing the robe or whatever.
What material is that robe, John? What is that? Is it my friend Shlomo said it was it's like not
like a satin
pleather, I believe it's called, plastic leather.
Oh, maybe. I didn't really.
It's a beautiful robe, and I didn't really catch it right on stream when I watched it, but one of the better theme songs, restoring the feeling of Walter aura. Gunther is the man.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice how like leathery it looks.
It's a very newer coat for the boy Gunther for sure.
That's crazy.
Looking good. I had very high expectations for this match, Gunther versus Javon Evans.
Too.
But I'm kind of very much reminded of Gunther's style, which this is his first match back in a while too. So maybe that has a little bit to do with it. But it was kind of a slow to start out, and that was kind of that's kind of the formula for some Gunther matches, especially if it's a big man versus little man. Kind of give Javon nothing, and build up to those hope spots.
Just keep swatting them down and just Because
I was talking a big game on stream about Javon, and my friend Shalom, like this guy's something else. They did a great job doing a video package highlighting Javon. Unfortunately, I don't have a VPN, so I was treated with a Javon Evans jobber entrance, which kind of put more and more doubt into me, that because I was kind of going into this. I love Gunther, and I'm someone that's kind of defending the obvious pick of him being the one that wins this tournament and retires John Cena.
Right.
But I was in the back of my head being like, our conversation about making stars, and just because he's young doesn't mean you don't put the rocket strap on.
I love a surprise.
And the 1, 2, 3 kid Razor Ramon moment on Monday Night Raw was ringing in my head, and I'm like, give it to me. This would also, if they did that in this moment, give Gunther and Javon Evans a reason to feud for the next 25 years.
Sure.
I think if Javon Evans beat Gunther in this moment, cost Gunther this moment, this opportunity, Gunther for the rest of his life would make sure Javon Evans would eat a slap at some point in his week. So I think that could have been awesome. But
they were whacking the shit out of you. The both of them, they were hitting each other.
Yeah,
dude.
for sure.
But yeah, I agree. In my head going into this, I was like, match of the year. But it was a lot of fun. I like this style. My favorite Gunther matches are the Dave and Goliath ones. I think that it checked that box for me. But again, I am now curious. This really makes me curious between Mello and Bronson Reed. But to wrap up the rest of the tournament stuff, we did have we talked about earlier. We had Solo Sikoa going over a Dolph Ziggler, which again, I don't know. Again, is Solo Sikoa going to win this tournament? No. Were they going to give the win to Dolph Ziggler? Probably not. But like a Dolph Ziggler win would have been fun here. I would have liked it. I don't know.
Where did Tall Tonga get his manager license is what I want to know. Because Solo comes to the ring with Tall Tonga, fresh off a victory off Rey Fenix on SmackDown not too long ago. My boy. And yeah, so like this match, again, I kind of feel like Ziggler should have definitely won this match.
Yeah.
But he did, to his credit, get a good match out of Solo. Solo looked really good.
Yeah. It was a fun match. I loved seeing Dolph also like, I don't know, wanted man, big pop. I guess we kind of already talked about it. I don't have much else to say about it other than like Dolph Solo's ass off.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. And again, it's like I don't know. We'll move on. I think the last match, besides obviously we have Mello and Bronson Reed. Unless I'm missing one of the last tournament matches is Penta versus Finn Balor. I forget, is it happening on SmackDown or Raw? I forget. Not sure. Either way, Penta versus Finn Balor. Great match on paper. I think it'll be cool.
Penta. Right?
I guess.
Come on.
I mean, also like, which sucks, and I hate to like have this mindset. Who cares? Neither of them are gonna go. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I hear you.
And maybe I have to watch it less of like it's gonna be Gunther. It's gonna be Gunther. I'm excited for this match. These two of my favorites, but
I am someone that's trying to get out of my own head too recently. Of like, just because it's predictable, don't get so mad about it. Because like even I think last week where you kind of not say you got mad at me, but I was kind of very much dismissing of like, dude, Samoa Joe versus Hangman, like it's like the most obvious outcome in the world. I watched this last episode of Dynamite, and their kind of reasoning for having a cage match lit a fire under me.
Oh, yeah.
Reminded me Samoa freaking Joe. And though Hangman's probably gonna win that match, I'll still be seated for it. But given, you know, some things are predictable, they could still be good. Tournament style, Penta versus Finn Balor, I hear you. And it all just kind of feels like Gunther is going to win and be victorious, which, you know, it sucks that I'm kind of in a position where I'm defending Gunther online to people, because it's kind of a popular take right now for people being like, oh, not anyone but Gunther, but I'd much rather see someone else besides Gunther. Give it to someone young, this and that. Like, I don't know. I think Gunther kind of fits that. I mean, he's not the youngest guy in the world, but he's going to be with the company for the next 10 years and be in a prominent position. The guy looks like a James Bond villain, like the final boss of the James Bond villain. Like, James Bond kills the villain, the final boss villain, but then out comes Gunther. It's like, no, I was running the shit the whole time. I'm Gunther. So I love Gunther. I think he's the right move. I think when the bell rings for Gunther John Cena Saturday's main event, all those people will change their minds.
And that's what I think a lot of that, because Gunther is the right pick, especially given the pool. But I think that, and I am usually a, predictable doesn't mean bad. Mm-hmm. I think the reason why I'm just kind of like about it is because, like, it's not predictable right now. We have to get through 2 to 4 weeks or whatever, however many weeks or months of a tournament when we all know the outcome. Yeah. You know, hey, if they hit us with a swerve, which I don't really expect them to do, by all means, but like it gets to, I don't know. I mean, got to a point.
Like, who in the finals would make you kind of doubt that Gunther would win? I mean, I already kind of asked you, like, who would you kind of? I mean, I think Mello is technically slated to face him next, but
right now. Unless they go crazy and pull a Jey Uso, which I don't think they're gonna do, but like I could kind of see them doing it.
Dude, I mean, Jey Uso did eliminate John in the Royal Rumble.
It's not the crazy. I could see them doing it.
But it's gonna be Jey versus Gunther in the finals. I was absolutely it's gonna be Jey versus Gunther in the finals, and Gunther probably. I think will win that match. Probably.
Yeah, it's a good point. It'll probably be that.
And like I was kind of surprised that Gunther's still rocking the sleeper hold last night. I thought like maybe we can move past that with the whole, you tapped out to that move at WrestleMania. Like there's still kind of that stigma around you of that move. So I'm kind of surprised he left. I would kind of expect a veteran like Gunther to leave and then go learn a new hold. But he comes back with the same hold, and I think that's going to be cut. Thinking about it, it's probably leading up to Gunther Jey Uso in the finals.
They got to have a submission match. There's
going to be sleeper holds for sure.
I think now for my only, I don't want to say a glimmer of hope, but the only other than them doing a Jey thing, which I wouldn't love, maybe they go with the underdog Carmelo run. Mm-hmm. But I don't, as much as I love Carmelo, I see the writing on the wall. I don't think WWE believes in him that much right now, and I just don't think WWE. This isn't the best word, but I don't think WWE trusts.
Yeah.
Or I guess believes in Melo enough where they're gonna slingshot him and this is all unfortunately speaking, put him in that Cena match. But like it'd be a cool, shocking run if it's not Gunther. But like again, also predictable isn't bad. Gunther is a great pick, probably the right pick. All right, let's go on to massive moment. Maxine Dupree, the girlhood dream Maxine Dupree defeats Becky Lynch with the help of a returning AJ Lee to become the new Women's Intercontinental Champion. Hell yeah. I love this. Love everything about it. I think it's so well deserved. Maxine has come such a long way. She was celebrating with Alpha Academy afterward. Becky made not made Maxine look like $1 million, but like a great dance partner to Maxine. A lot of fun spots here. Then obviously the AJ Lee return. Which was again, I mean, kind of like last time we said it's been like a month and a half since we've seen her, something like
We've
that.
been crying on here, like, where's AJ?
Yeah.
We were tired of old CM, where we got we got a taste of the wife. We want the whole thing. We were told we were gonna get AJ Lee week to week, and this looks like the start of that. I think they had a promo afterwards. Oh, I think Jackie Redmond asked her like, "Hey, you think about sticking around a little bit?" And then
she was like, "Well, Becky does something to me." She got that little crazy girl back.
I love it. Some lesbian Paula, never a bad thing. But this was about, like you said, the girlhood dream. Maxine Dupree. You've been on the bandwagon for a long time. Credit to you. She's improved immensely in the ring. I think someone posted on Twitter, and I totally agree with this. The Diva eras are back. For the mid card champions, you got Chelsea Green, you got Maxine Dupree, and then NXT you got Blake Monroe. Which AJ Lee, no more of that. That's that's trademarked AJ Lee. She was doing that at the end. I mean, given like it's like, ooh, look what I did. But again, gimmick infringement. Unless Blake Monroe for AJ Lee. Sign me up.
I'm in for it.
But this was about Maxine Dupree. What a special moment. MSG. That arena is just chock full of great WWE moments, and that will go down top 20 maybe.
I mean, how crazy! Like Maxine Dupree. There's a couple of things that I saw people talk. One, like Maxine Dupree winning that title in Madison Square Garden. She is the first of American-made Alpha Academy anyone to win a single. No, because Chad's had the U.S., hasn't he?
No.
Chad hasn't had the U.S.
No, Chad's a bomb.
Jesus Christ.
Kayfabe wise.
But the first to get that IC title of everyone, this rocked. And then so here's like, it's by all means not a critique. 'Cause I love everything about this. More so, I'm a little bit not surprised, but I think worth discussion. I think we always kind of thought that, especially weeks ago. I think we were kind of thinking like, oh, the Maxine stuff's done. Like, we're moving on. Maxine's not going to get it. And then obviously, we kind of had this match now. Maxine ended up getting it. I think that's it's an amazing decision. I am a little surprised though, however, because it seems like we are obviously leading back into the AJ Lee Becky Lynch feud.
Yeah.
I am a little surprised this feud is not going to be for the IC title. So I think I thought AJ Lee was a perfect one to take the title off of Becky Lynch.
Have you seen the shirts too of like the classic AJ Lee like ribs one, and then I don't know if WWE was selling it or like maybe some fans made it, but they also have like shirts like that, and then below it is like the women's IC title. I don't know if they were selling that shirt, but like you said, like it's interesting. It is kind of surprising that AJ isn't going for that title. That
she was destined
that
for
she
it.
did raise, I think, when she attacked Becky once, and like
looks
like $1 million for, and like but seemingly it's like AJ and Becky probably will be put in that WarGames match, which is very exciting.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
After the Jackie Redmond interview, AJ got approached by Rhea. Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad you remembered that, because yes, she was like, I'm not talking about something. So okay, that makes sense. But I love, I'm excited for this one-on-one AJ Lee. Obviously, we've done like the Seth and Punk involvement, but one-on-one's going to be great. I don't expect Maxine to have this title for super long. And I guess I could see AJ Lee leapfrogging it. Like, not that, like, AJ Lee, I only thought AJ Lee was going to take it off Becky because Becky had it. Ultimately, I do like the IC title being a mid-card title. AJ Lee is not a mid-card wrestler.
Sure.
So, like, I'm fine with her leapfrogging it. It was mainly just because it was involved with the Becky feud. But I am a little bit surprised.
AJ Lee's been gone for many years. You got to
work her way back up.
Back when she was wrestling, there wasn't a women's mid-card title. So she has to work her way back up to the contendership and get the mid-card title and then go for the world title.
Hey, I believe it. I do not disagree with that. I don't disagree
hard
with
work, baby.
I don't disagree with keeping shit, kayfabe or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, kind of have to say about that. I think everyone looked good.
I mean, shout out Becky Lynch. I think
devastated looking.
I mean, her facials at the bewilderment and shock was honestly hilarious and really made that moment even more what it was. The pyro, Maxine.
Well, I think she tweeted. I don't know if you said this because you're making a reference, but Becky also tweeted something about a manager's license. See that?
Oh no,
Becky. Let me see. Let's see if I can find it.
Talking about AJ Lee, probably. Yeah, no, because in wrestling tradition, there should be no wrestlers unless they have a manager's license on ringside.
Becky tweeted, quote tweeting the Triple H finger point.
Yeah.
3 letters, NML, no manager's license. In the state of New York that is governed by the State Athletic Commission, a manager's license must be attained for interfering parties to be allowed at ringside. Therefore, hence, vis-a-vis, the outcome of this title match, which has been clearly rigged, is hereby under protest. You'll be hearing from my lawyer imminently. The changing of the side plates will result in a lawsuit.
Honestly, the kayfabe is strong with this one. Becky skyrocketing among my favorites. Great point. And honestly, I hope they go full-fledged, like courtroom, Becky Lynch the man, representing herself in court, maybe do some fun skits. Maxine's a great actress, like put her in those too. Phenomenal. I love that. And then another thing too that kind of surprised me is I thought the storyline between, Becky and Maxine, a lot of it had to do with referee Jessica Carr.
Yes.
Shout out, her makeup looked awesome last night. It's kind of a weird thing I don't usually notice as a guy's guy, but she had really cool makeup on. And she's also a phenomenal referee, does a great job. I think we know back behind the scenes stuff because we're sweaty marks. She's working to becoming a wrestler. And I really thought like she would be the one to kind of, quote unquote, screw Becky over for this title. Maybe start a Jessica Carr match for Becky or something.
There's something there. I'm curious what's going to happen.
Even before, like I think the ring introductions and like the title. I think Becky like snatched the title back from Jessica to kind of taunt with it again. Like there's a long going feud with referee Jessica Carr and Becky Lynch, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, it's a cool little like subplot of like all this like stuff. Like Becky like poking her and getting involved, and like weeks before Jessica Carr doing the fast count, and like Jessica Carr is standing up for herself, and there's something there.
It reminds me of kind of like the relationship between I think Triple H and Earl Hebner back in the day. Triple H used to bully the hell out of Earl Hebner, but a few times Earl Hebner shoved their mic back and stood up for himself. But then, of course, I think that kind of came to fruition when Jericho beat Triple H that time at Raw. Earl Hebner did the fast count and then the switch or whatever. So, like, I love stuff like that. It's such a cool little thing. I like it. If you know, if you pay attention closely, that you probably could see coming. I was a bit surprised that Jessica didn't cost Becky the match. It was, of course, AJ, but what a phenomenal moment that I'll never forget on Raw.
We will round out the WWE side of things. You're talking about the closing of Raw. We got just I think it was what did they call us, like a face-to-face or whatever. I mean,
what do you expect?
They all like the Vision makes their entrance with Drew and Logan, and then the good guys, every single one got their own entrance.
What's that all about?
12 minutes.
What the heck, dude?
And then, which I think to me that was just like, you gotta do it for Madison Square. You gotta play the Cody song. You gotta play Cult of Personality.
Feel bad for Jimmy Still. I guess apparently that tag team theme just doesn't work.
Right.
File error, so that we have to play the Jey Uso Yeet theme because Jimmy Uso doesn't matter. It's a little sad for that, but that was really funny.
The second they got in the ring, they just started brawling.
The amount of steroids and testosterone in that ring, just marvelous. We're so back.
And then we had Brock Lesnar come out as kind of, again, predicted, but is joining Team Heyman, Team Vision, and then returning for the 5th or 6th time this year. OTC, big Roman Reigns coming in.
Looks a little smaller in my opinion, but I will say, love the shooting sleeve. Shooting sleeve is money.
I'm curious what the word. Why I don't know maybe what the word on that. Yeah, maybe something like that. I did. That was like the first thing I clocked. I think it was cool.
I mean, of course, big time Zootopia star Roman Reigns and CM Punk.
God, I can't wait. I love chemistry. Zootopia. Oh, no, have you seen the first one?
I haven't seen the first one. I did see. I think you may have had a tweet about a certain character.
Oh, Judy Hopps.
I'm into Judy Hopps.
Listen.
I might have to watch Zootopia tonight.
This is a Patreon conversation.
Yes,
it's Judy Hopps versus Lola Bunny in the WarGames match.
Really nice eyes.
But so I don't know. This is like it's again, once the match at WarGames starts, it's gonna be like a crash course. It's gonna be it's gonna be electric, and it's gonna be so many bodies. But like I don't care about Brock and Roman face to face in 2025. It was a little like, I don't know how much to say about it. It just kind of feels like of what was a very good Raw, and it felt like we've been on a little bit of a run coming off of last week's Raw, and I'll even lump in like how good Dynamite was last week, and to close out Raw with just like, what we've already done 5 or 6 times of Roman and Brock Lesnar staring each other down, and potentially people are already speculating now that like now this WarGames match is almost going to be background music to Roman and Brock's reignited feud.
Oh, I don't think it's gone that far.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. It's star-studded. Brock is still kind of whatever to me, but like Roman's back, which is great. I always love to see him back. I don't know. It'll be a fun match.
I've been crying about wanting stakes for this match, and not stakes, STEAK, stakes. Reasoning for
like the company that Drake is involved in.
Oh yeah, shout out gambling. Not shout out gambling. But being a gambling man, I think the vision. And that's another thing we've been speculating about is like, is Logan Paul in the vision? Is Drew McIntyre in the vision? None of these extra lads are in the vision. It's just for WarGames.
See, to me, I'm not convinced. To me, I think Logan's in it.
You think so?
I think Drew, no. But to me, I think Logan's in it at this point.
I kind of support that. I think it makes sense, and I think Logan Paul, as much as he is a dickhead, is phenomenally talented, and I think he for sure has a lot to gain being partnered with that Beast faction, stepping into the Seth Rollins role, which I guess would say he's the leader, but I would not consider Logan the leader. I think Paul Heyman for sure is the leader of the division. Sure. What a dangerous alliance those 5 men are. Given those no stakes, adding Brock and Drew, because I think Drew was added kind of late, and then the amount of star power. I'm very much excited for this match. When this match begins, I'll be more excited.
Yeah.
But I still kind of feel in the back of my mind of like, why are both world champions in this match? Give me something else stakes wise, but I guess beggars can't be choosers. I will say it was kind of interesting for me seeing the stare down between Brock and Roman, because they do have extensive, impressive history. That's the only match really by Rock and Stone Cold, which I will say this is kind of the Temu version of Rock and Stone Cold, or the modern day version. Because I really would be remiss to compare Brock to Stone Cold, but star power wise, there's something to be said, and you can't really take away from the fact that Brock and Roman have main evented 3 WrestleManias. It is a big freaking deal. I really hope they wouldn't go past this WarGames match between Brock and Roman. I think the writing is completely on the wall for WrestleMania 42. It's gonna be Brock and Braun Breaker, which at a given time, maybe many years ago, would be a dream match of mine. But I still think we'll bang. Then too, I think a lot of people after this, big, Monday Night Raw moment are forgetting really what this match is kind of leading up to, and I think is really put the magnifying glass on, big main event Jey Uso. And he's kind of the X factor, deciding factor, because you do the typical war games of like, can they coexist? Even the baddies, right? I mean, Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar talk about history. Those guys have history. They probably won't get along. Brock probably won't get along with anyone. But then you got Braun Breaker, Logan Paul. Those guys probably won't mesh too well. Go on babyface side. Same kind of thing, same kind of attitude where Jey Uso, I thought him and Roman weren't talking until Thanksgiving. I guess we're kind of speeding that up a little bit.
And Jimmy, I want to see either of you,
because they both did cost him against Bronson Reed. So it's going to be compelling, but again, it's missing stakes. But at the end of the day, wrestling is big star-studded stuff. I'm not going to complain too much. War games.
I would. Like I said, I can both men's and women's. Which the women's build is like Charlotte kind of doesn't want to be a part of it, and now she's kind of like back in it. Kabuki Warriors trying to recruit people, but it'll be fun. I do think maybe next year we might not need a War Games. Maybe if we can go back to some just team warfare. I don't know. I just don't know if you need a War Games every single year.
I was thinking on the way here how different this this upcoming matchup would be if Seth freaking Rollins was healthy. I think maybe it would kind of make more sense, but it'd be kind of less damaging for having both world titles in this match if one world champion was on one side and one world champion was on the other side.
Because Cody makes the least sense to be in this match.
Where did he come from with this? You were not feuding with. I mean, he was feuding with Drew, and Drew's now
he's
involved,
buddies with Jay.
But it's that's kind of my criticism leading up to the last few weeks is like this kind of feels very much thrown together and just having a War Games match because it's the month of November type shit.
With that said, what should main event? If you got Cena on the card,
the men's,
defending his title,
men's War Games,
it'll probably main event.
Men's War Games for sure. Too much star power,
Also, yeah, I guess you can't, because then at that point you're kind of stacking up the WarGames matches too close to each other. The women will probably open, if I had to guess. Men, I honestly, I mean, yeah, I could see the men. I guess it depends on what happens in the match. Like if they're gonna do a big surprise.
Brock does love to leave early.
Yeah, that's true too.
He does love to show up, collect the check, and leave, do a few suplexes, and get the F out of there.
Yeah.
I will say, cannot wait for the AJ Lee Lash Legend stare down in WarGames. That's going to be something to behold.
Yeah, I'm for it. All right, well, let's jump over to the AEW side of things. We are going to watch some more build-up tomorrow live at Aganis Arena. But right now, we are doing our full gear predictions. Like I said earlier, the SCW Predictions Championship will be on the line. And, yeah, we used to go. So right now, obviously, we have Dynamite, we have Collision. Some things will get added, so we'll kind of, go about that as we will. There is also a Casino Gauntlet match for the AEW National Championship that there's no participants named in it, so we're just going to skip that all outright. Maybe, well, I don't know. It's tough to even, make a call, because then people start coming in. It's like people you don't know. So I think for the sake of predictions, we kind of just have to skip it. But
I will say, it is a complete and utter shame that you only bring out this beautiful championship title during the podcast when it's a predictions episode. When I was champion and when I become champion, I'll wear it every single episode, every damn appearance I make, at the pizza parlor, at freaking ice cream sundaes, at the bowling alley. It's just a shame in my opinion, but that's just me.
I like to keep it shiny. I like to keep it safe. I don't think you need to see it that much. I think it's when I have it, it's for my eyes, and when you leave here, boy, you should see what I do with this damn thing. Well, let's start out here. We have honestly a match I didn't even know what's happening, to be honest with you. Darby Allin versus Pac, some Death Rider stuff. Pac trying to avenge Jon Moxley. I don't know. We probably don't need. We'll see what happens at the end. I don't know if we need to do conference points here. I got Darby Allin over Pac. To me, this kind of just seems like another step in Darby conquering the Death Riders.
Any stip?
No, I think it's straight up.
Really?
At least for now, it's straight up. At least that's what Wikipedia says. I didn't know. I had watched Dynamite. When did this match get announced?
I believe, I did actually watch, believe it or not, a taste of Collision. Pac cut a really good promo, and I think it was made then. I do also kind of, don't like, I'm a bit of a traditionalist. WarGames happens. Oh, sorry, Blood and Guts happens, and the Death Riders are wrestling on Collision the next episode, which and then Moxie's on commentary, and they did talk about that, or whatever. But Pac had a really good promo, which gives me some kind of hope for him in this match. But I'm going Darby Allin too.
Yeah,
it's kind of refreshing to see Darby in a non-stipulation match. We'll see if he can still cook
for sure. All right, next we have the TNT Championship. Kyle Fletcher, the champion, versus Mark Briscoe. Stipulation here is if Mark Briscoe loses, he must join the Don Callis family. This was a tough one for me, because Kyle Fletcher is the guy right now. He's killing it. He's the young hot shot in the Don Callis family, TNT champion. I feel like he has more juice left in this title run. However, Mark Briscoe is so goddamn over. He's so good. He's been killing it. He was great in the Blood and Guts match. We didn't really talk about his involvement too much. I don't know. I see both on the one side, you have Mark Briscoe as a TNT champion. That rocks. But he's also hilarious. What would also be funny? If Mark Briscoe has to be with all these bad guys in the Don Cal, there's a lot to do with the, story-wise and whatever, especially involvement with the conglomeration, which I think them as a faction has been really entertaining as of late. So I don't know. I'm gonna defer to you if you have any thoughts, unless you need me to go. But
I'm gonna need you to do me a favor.
Okay.
Can you say his full name?
Mark Briscoe?
No. Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher.
That's his gimmick. He wants you to say his full name.
The Protostar Kyle Fletcher?
The Protostar TNT champion.
Oh, excuse me.
Kyle Fletcher. That's who I'm going with. Only real men wear pink. Only real elite professional wrestlers wear pink. Word to Bret Hart. Word to Kyle freaking Fletcher. I love Mark Briscoe. He's very talented. He's very entertaining, lovable. But I think Kyle Fletcher should bulldoze over him at Full Gear in New Jersey.
Kyle Fletcher's the guy. I know, but Mark Briscoe tugs at the heartstrings. I said right now, and I guess this is a lock. Has Mark Briscoe had the title before? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I'm going Mark Briscoe.
Nice.
I think Kyle Fletcher can get it back eventually. I think if Mark Briscoe wins it here, it's not a crazy run, but like conglomeration with like, I mean, Kyle O'Reilly was also an MVP of that match. The Roderick Strong stuff is great. Willow Nightingale, hello.
Yep.
They're doing interesting stuff. Ishii. So I think Mark Briscoe with his whole squad behind him with the TNT title would be cool. And then you can, there's so much else you can do with the Don Callis family and Fletcher. But I'm rooting for Mark. All right, then we have, obviously, like I said, Concealed Gauntlet match, AEW National Championship. We are skipping that, but I love a gauntlet. Love some surprises. Love some run-ins.
We're going to Dynamite tomorrow. I'm a little worried that one of us is going to get absorbed into the Don Callis family a little bit.
Either one of us is gonna get called in. Say, hey, stick around. Head to. Aren't they in like New Jersey? Where are they? I'm not sure where Full Gear is.
New Jersey.
Say, hey, stick around. We need you in the Concealed Gauntlet. Or because I think we have some pretty decent seats. So they're gonna be like, hey, you guys, you're in the family here. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm not opposed to it.
Could happen. But next match we have is the $1 million trio match. The winner gets $1 million. Kenny Omega Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. This one's also a tough one. Like, I've been enjoying the Broke Bucks gimmick. I like them like gaining a little bit of money and then flushing it away and then getting a little bit of budget and then not.
It's funny.
And I'm also kind of looking at my heels and faces that I got winning tonight.
Excuse me, is the Don Callis family still trying to pursue the Young Bucks, or were they successful, or it's still kind of ongoing?
Not currently successful. Okay. I guess we'll see more on Dynamite. But the last, I think it happened on Dynamite where I think Don or something was talking to them in their trailer, or Don was talking to him, and the Bucks were kind of like, because I think they were. Don was I think waving some money in front of their face, and like, well, we are broke, like. There is money in the Don Callis family. I don't know if he successfully got them, but you're right. That's a big, it could be a big Don Callis Full Gear involved night.
I feel like we're on the precipice of the Young Bucks again returning to the face side a little bit. They've been they've been kind of comedy heels for a bit. People are enjoying the comedy heel shtick, and I think the second letter in All Elite Wrestling is elite. If you don't know, and I think people, the AEW faithful, love the Young Bucks and they want to cheer for him. I think this could be the start of it. I'm gonna go Kenny Omega and the Dinosaur and Jungle Jack.
Yeah, this was another tough one for me. Excuse me. I'm going Kenny and Jurassic Express. It's not, again, it's for quote unquote $1 million. I see like Young Bucks lose. Kenny and Jurassic Express get the money, and they're just like, Luchasaurus is doing Snow Angels in the Money in the Ring. You know what I mean? I think it'll be a fun.
I didn't mean be animated. I would say, I'm going to throw this out there. I would love the Luchasaurus to drop the dinosaur gimmick and just be Austin.
You've been saying that.
I've been saying that.
I don't know if Austin, and you're a Big Brother guy.
I'm a Big Brother
you think
guy.
Austin's got it?
He has chops. He can cut promos. He's an interesting guy. I think the dinosaur gimmick has kind of run its course. It's funny. It's cool. And although he just kind of came back to it, he's been Killswitch for a while, but he was still a dinosaur as Killswitch. But it's so funny to just talk about wrestling sometimes.
Well, he was still a dinosaur, but
I don't know. That's kind of why my spitball. Like, hey, if there's any incentive to kind of change up on your team, it could be $250,000, $500,000. Maybe the heels offer Luchasaurus some money to join.
Not be a dinosaur.
So say what you will about these money matches that keep happening on Dynamite and the pay-per-views, whatever. I do like it in the sense that it does put something in the back of my mind of like something could happen outside of the realm of just a regular match, just because money changes people. Money definitely is a huge influence on people's decision making. So I will say I could see some kind of really funny business in this match for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I will go on to the AEW Tag Team Championship match. Brodito, the champion, versus FTR. I think, unfortunately, I think Brodito's run with the tag titles, I think by all means, has not run its course, but I think we are just at the end of it. I think FTR are getting these titles. They've been on a massive heel run, talking shit to Ricky Steamboat and everything. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just, and I'm even hesitant to say like time for a change because Brodito has been killing it, and they could fully win here, and they still have so much gas left. But I don't know. Again, kind of looking at the rest of my card, I could see a title change here. Heel win, FTR, best in the world, top guys. That's what I'm going with.
I'm going with the best tag team in the world myself. FTR makes the most sense here. Shout out Brodito, a very good, but hey, makeshift tag team. They are. These guys are definitely two guys that should be single stars because I think they're both super talented and deserve, singles accolades. This tag team was a fun moment in time. Maybe you can revisit it in the future. I'm not calling for like a turn or anything, but yeah, I think FTR will do enough to win this match. I'm sure Big Stoke will play a factor in it.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'm going with the best tag team in the world. I'm sure that will open up down the road, maybe a Cope and Cage tag team match for the titles. We had probably further pay-per-view. I'm not sure what Cope is doing. I'm sure he's filming something. But yeah, that's my prediction. FTR.
Second to last match, AEW World Championship Steel Cage match. Talked about it a little bit earlier. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe.
Yeah, okay. No, I thought you were going to say Mercedes and Chris is also in a Steel Cage match. I'm like, whoa, it's a lot of Steel Cage matches.
I'm going Hangman. Yeah. This is Hangman's first big feud. Beat Powerhouse Hobbs. I like that. I don't know. I like Samoa Joe. I just, at this point, we already got Samoa Joe as an AEW World Champion. I don't think in 2025 Samoa Joe's still great, not to discredit him, but it seems like we are in the early stages of a Hangman World title run. Eventually, I think MJF is going to come back fully in the loop. We could even start seeing more Swerve again. Kenny, I don't know. There's a lot of other names to get this world title again. And I don't think Joe's gonna be it. So I'm going Hangman to end this feud and move on. So when Hangman can feud with Hook, and then Hook can get the AEW championship.
I love it. Put John in the writer's room now. Move over, Will Washington. Give me Samoa Joe.
Wow, really?
Just kidding.
Oh, I was gonna say.
You fell for
I was like,
it.
you even sounds like you switched up from earlier.
No, Hangman, this is his run. He still has a lot of momentum. The face of this company, and yeah, I think. Like I said last week, I was kind of down on this match, kind of being predictable, but, Samoa Joe in a freaking steel cage match.
It's going to be fun.
Shut up and take my money.
Final match, AEW Women's World Title. Chris Statlander, the champion, versus Mercedes Moné. Is this going to be the time where Mercedes finally gets the one championship that eludes her? She's got 12 damn belts, but she doesn't have this one.
The only one that matters.
The only one that matters.
Respectfully. Buried all those companies.
Stat, still pretty early into her run. Won it off of the Fatal 4-Way with Toni Storm involved, and then defeated Toni Storm to really solidify that win, which I think is great. I don't know if I see Stat getting through Toni and Mercedes. But is this the moment? Is Full Gear the night that Mercedes gets it? I think so.
Wow.
I'm going Mercedes Moné to take the AEW title off of Stat.
Wow.
That's what I'm going with. Think we're finally going to see it.
That's really interesting. Bryan Danielson was great on commentary during the Women's Blood and Guts match, kind of pointing out that Mercedes Moné has so much to lose being in this match. She can't risk being injured. I think she avoided injury, but something in that match really stood out to me. It was Chris Statlander. I caught a lot of slack for being someone that was kind of doubting Chris Statlander's win over Toni Storm. And it was more so just because I think Toni Storm is a generational wrestler and one of the best in the world. And I don't think Stat really was supposed to, in my opinion, was supposed to be the one to dethrone Toni Storm. And to me, it kind of just screamed transitional champion, which now we're here at now she's between a rock and a hard place. Mercedes Moné, 12 belts Moné. I hope
Ultimo Moné.
Ultimo Moné. Shout out Bryan Danielson again. What a great nickname. I I hope that I am wrong. I hope Stat proves me wrong because I'm picking Chris Statlander. Let me get her name right. Chris Statlander.
I used to call her very, very, very down straight moment. For a while, I call her Stratlander. Had an R in there. Something about throwing an R in there. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm going Chris here. I think
Cool.
she really wowed me in the Blood and Guts match, and I think eventually Mercedes will get it. I don't think it'll be here. I think eventually she'll get it. I think it's really important for Stat not to lose this match, because then if so, I hate to say it, but Jimmy was right. Yeah, but that's my pick. I'm sticking with it.
I think we honestly we have very similar picks. I think we will wait until honestly we're gonna be live there for us. We can honestly probably just run down our picks right after Collision Dynamite.
Yeah.
But I think we will need confidence points.
Okay.
So I think we have a lot of similar picks.
Yep.
But we'll figure that out, because I think there might be some more matches added. We'll also see the what we want to solidify after Dynamite, and hopefully I can get a graphic made up in time. That'd be cool. But yeah, those are our picks. I feel solid about most of them, but like some of them, like I'm not too confident about Mercedes, but I do feel like, is she gonna lose here? I don't know, but we'll see.
I'm going to Sweep City. That's all I know.
I do like. I hope Mercedes Statlander. I mean, the steel cage match will probably main event, 'cause it's a steel cage match. But it would be cool for Stat and Monet to main event, and that's what it comes down to for us. Like that's gonna be fun. You know what I mean?
I hope so too.
All right, folks. Well, that's the show. That's the main show. If you want to hear us answer some questions, chitter chat a little bit more, head over to patreon.com/Stache Club Wrestling. $5 a month, you get new episodes weekly and bonus episodes. Check us out everywhere. Like I said earlier, we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Follow us on everything, our own YouTube channels. Everything is in the description. Last thing on, because you got me in the Tony Storm thinking. I watched a little TikTok compilation of like her, some promos came up. And you were saying she's the best. I wish I emphasized that more. God, she is the best. There was one where she was like, I think it was a recent one, because now she's like teaming with like Mina Shirakawa. I think it was a promo leading into which we're going to see the next against Windsor and Riho for the next round of the tournament on Collision Dynamite. But she was talking up the match, and she was like, I'm gonna get it wrong. Something about like, don't ask God for mercy. He's a fan of our work.
Yep. That was recently on Collision. She's the best. She's phenomenal.
How do you come up with that?
My only beef with that, and it's not a beef, but I think for Tony Storm's character, I would kind of think and hope that she believes that God's a woman.
You know, I was kind of thinking that.
It should have been, she's a big fan of her work, but hey, that's just the feminist in me talking, I guess.
God is a woman.
God, I mean, that's kind of why I believe it, but that's neither here nor there. Don't kill me.
Tony promo
Collision.
Yeah.
So good. And like, yeah, Mina is playing like, because again, that was the finish of the Blood and Guts match. Tony had no choice but to surrender because of her love being tortured.
Oh yeah, it's okay. Here we go. It's at the end.
We promise to look good when we do it. Anytime, any place, the show must go on.
There we go.
Don't ask God for mercy. He's a big fan of our work.
Like the delivery, dude.
It's
like
amazing.
The writing of it. Don't ask God for mercy. He's a big fan of our work.
Massive.
That's crazy.
Literal chills for me. I guess
Unreal.
RJ City has a lot to do with her character, which
cool.
I think I was during the early stages of AEW. I was a big RJ City, big fan of that show, and it really just makes sense because that guy is so quick-witted and funny. A lot of the quips that Tony Storm uses, I think I can tell that comes from RJ City's brain. So shout out both those, RJ City and Tony Storm. It's the best. I love it.
Hell yeah. All right. We did the plugs already. Like I said, Patreon. We'll get out of here. And I feel like I'm missing something, forgetting something, but I don't know. Talk about in the Patreon. Peace. Which do you guys think will happen first? GTA 6 being released or LA Knight wins the world title?
Hot take, neither will happen. Casual movie trivia question for you.
Talk to me.
What is the most famous quote in Star Wars?
But if I could get one more song out before the end of the year, I think it's going to be after Spotify Wrapped, so it's not going to count for Spotify Wrapped. My niche player I love is Marquise Daniels. on the
Oh,
Celtics.
wow. It's a deep cut,
Love
man.
Marquise Daniels.
Defense.
Woods has such an appreciation for pro wrestling that he doesn't often get to showcase, I feel like.